What's up, guys? Nick here, and welcome back to another episode of Viewer's Choice. Last week, I asked you guys, what is your favorite Mario companion? And the three choices I gave you were Flood, Sluma, and Cappy. So, let's go ahead and start with number 3. At number 3, we have Flood with 22.1% of the votes. Now, Flood was introduced in Super Mario Sunshine and was this robot made by Professor Egad. And he's a pretty cool looking robot. He can even talk to Mario. And he shoots out water basically. And luckily for Mario, that's exactly what he needed um, for his vacation, I guess. But to destroy all the pollution and stuff in Mario Sunshine. He has his original one nozzle shot. Then he has like the two nozzle shot, which is like a jetpack. And he has like the giant hydro nozzle, which like shoots Mario like forward and gives him a big boost. And each one of them are pretty useful. I think actually no, there's one more that like shoots him upwards and it shoots. It's also another like hydro nozzle or whatever, and it shoots him. It shoots downward and pushes him up. And yeah, you actually realize without Flood, it's some of the levels are really hard because some of the levels Shadow Mario takes Flood away from you, and the levels are a lot harder without him, and you realize that. So yeah, Flood definitely a great companion. I love his like voice acting. He like talks like a robot, and he does have some character to himself. And I think if I remember correctly, he actually like dies or like he like malfunctions or whatever, like at the end of the game. But I'm not sure. He's also Mario's down special in Brawl, or actually Melee. Wait, was it Melee or Brawl? I think yeah, it was Brawl Onward. And I don't know if they're gonna change that for Smash 5, but it used to be basically like Luigi's, where he would do like a tornado. But now it's Flood, and Flood will be able to push off the enemies that are close to Mario, and you can actually charge it up. Anyway, at number 2, we have Luma with 23.4% of the votes. Now, this was pretty close against Luma and Flood. Now, Luma, he is your companion in Super Mario Galaxy, and I think kind of in Super Mario Galaxy 2, but he doesn't really have that big of a role. He's kind of just there. But in Super Mario Galaxy 1, he has a bit of a bigger role. He basically gives the Mario the ability to do the spin attack, which allows Mario to get a little bit more height and momentum for his jumps, plus be able to attack the people around him, giving him a cool spin attack. And but it doesn't last. Like he has a little recharge to it, because after you spin, Luma will like come out from Mario's hat and then come back down into him, and then he'll be able to spin again. And you can only spin once in the air. So yeah, it's kind of useful. And he does have a bit of personality. He doesn't have any voice acting like Flood does, but he does say some pretty funny things, and he talks to Mario and helps him out as like a kind of tutorial guide. Anyway, at number 1, we have Cappy with 54.5% of the votes. Now, Cappy is your companion in Super Mario Odyssey, and he basically is just this like ghost creature, and he lives in the Cap Kingdom, and his sister Tiara gets kidnapped by Bowser along with Peach, and so he teams up with Mario to get Peach and Tiara back to safety. So yeah, Cappy is made from the Cap Kingdom, and he takes over Mario's hat, and basically with that, Mario's able to throw his hat and kill enemies or even turn into them, and also go on like fling it onto like platforms and stuff, and like little poles, and fling himself from it. And it's pretty cool. So basically, Cappy, I guess, makes you into any enemy or even people or other stuff that are around you, and you can perform some pretty cool tricks because you can also jump on Cappy, and the momentum or the movement in general in Super Mario Odyssey is actually really great because of Cappy, and being able to fling him across and be able to jump on him or dive into him and then jump and then do a lot of crazy stuff like that. You can also spin your hat around and have like a giant spin attack, which is greater than Luma's, where Luma's is just kind of around you, but with Cappy, you have a bit of a more projectile and can spin around. Also, Cappy does talk a little bit, but he doesn't really talk Like, he doesn't have voice acting like Flood did, but he does have this like little like voice of his, um, and it's kind of cute. I like it. And he also does tell you some stuff like when you're in the Odyssey and you're flying around to the different worlds and stuff. And yeah, he's pretty helpful, and he also is just there for Mario, and he seems like a pretty good guy. And he's like always with Mario sitting next to him in the Odyssey, and Mario seems like he likes him and kind of just hangs out with him. And yeah, anyway, so those are top three. Cappy won by a landslide, as you can see, basically doubling the amount of votes Flood got. I guess the reason because Odyssey is the newest one, and because, I mean, Cappy is just a great character, because, like I said, the movement in Mario Odyssey is great, and because of Cappy. Anyway, though, this week's question is, what is your favorite Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character that is playable? So you have Rex, Nia, Tora, Morag, and Zeke, which are all playable characters in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Out of those 5, which one do you think is the best, or has the best personality, has the best, I guess, starting blades, or which one you think is just looks cool, I guess? You can go based off of that too. So yeah, I mean, you got Rex, who's the main protagonist. You got Nia, who's this Gormati creature from Torna, and transfers over. Then you got Tora, who is this Nopon that doesn't have a blade but has an artificial blade. Then you have Morag, who is the Emperor of Morardane, and she has these like 2 whips from Brigid, which is her main blade. And then you have Zeke, who is this Prince of Tantal, and he has this like purple lightning sword, and his main blade is Pandoria, and he's pretty funny and cool. If you don't know who any of these characters are, just like look up cutscenes of them. They're pretty funny, each one of them, and cool, and they have their own like cool fighting style and stuff. Anyway, so that is this week's question. Don't forget to vote in the top right corner of the eye icon of who you think is the best Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character. But until then, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Viewer's Choice right here on Telnick. Bye.